All right, folks. Hey, welcome to the Lakeside Rodeo. No cows, no horses, no pigs. We thought we'd try another location, but I'm not. And I also got another vehicle that if you're a subscriber to Mr. Dave Stahl on YouTube, you would say, wait a minute, didn't you just do the Elantra N? Yes, I did. 2 weeks ago, pure white, beautiful color. This is totally different in performance blue with a nice red accent. I kind of like it. This is how they introduced the car. So what makes it different? It's got a 6-speed manual. The other one was an automatic. And for an interesting historical note, back in the day, all cars came with a manual transmission, and you had to pay extra to get an automatic. Today, all cars come with an automatic, and now you have to pay extra for a manual transmission. Funny? Yeah, totally. This one here, 2-liter, same thing as the automatic, 276 horse, 289 foot-pounds of torque. It's got a special differential in it for the N model. And the N model is just a performance nomenclature, if you really need to know. Every manufacturer tries to come up with some kind of catchy little phrase. On the Hyundai, it's the N. And what they did is they hired away a BMW performance engineer by the name of Mr. Bierman, and he put this car on the map when it came to performance. You've got your sport exhaust. And when I say sport exhaust, it's not like a V8, okay? But it's for a 4-cylinder, it is a little nicer. You got rear chassis braces. You've got 14.2-inch front and 12-bore rotors, which are masked, because if you're going to go diving into turns, you want to be able to have the ability to set the car up, going in, going out, and you got to be able to stop. You've got a rack-mounted power steering pump, which is all performance-oriented, less weight, less restrictions, quicker turning, sharper reaction. You've got 19-inch alloy wheels. You got a pretty extensive rear spoiler. We'll look at that when we take a walk to the back. You've got LED lighting all the way around, nice Bose sound system, 10.25 digital instrumentation. You got the N bucket seats, and in those seats, there's slots up on the headrest to where you can install a 5-point harness if you plan to go racing with this car, believe it or not. You've got your rear seat folds as well. And it's got, like I said, it's got tons and tons of safety features that we could talk about. But the main thing that you want to do is drive this car, because this is a driver's car. The funny thing about it is, as much as I drive a different car every week, I've gotten into this about, 2 or 3 times, and it wouldn't start. Why wouldn't it start? I didn't depress the clutch. If you don't depress the clutch pedal on this car, I don't care what gear it's in, it is not going to start. So I always chuckle every time I get in, because back in the day, that was automatic. You automatically depress the clutch. You've got no sunroof, which is perfectly okay with me. I'm not a sunroof guy, and this keeps the rigidity of the car for handling, believe it or not, and performance. Anytime you cut holes in a body like this, it's going to loosen it up just a little bit. I haven't gone under the hood of this, and I think I'm just going to do it just for the heck of it when we walk up to the front. So let me just find the little. So let's walk up to the front, and let's see if they've done anything under the hood to make it look snazzy. All right, let's look under the hood. Let's see if they've done anything fancy to add to that performance. Okay. I can tell you right now, there's one thing that I'm surprised is not under the hood, and that is a bar that goes from this top of the shock tower over to the other one, because that's always been a performance addition, but for some reason, Hyundai didn't feel it necessary. Easily accessible. If you like to maintain your own car, everything is right here. Everything is colors all the way around. So if you do like to tinker, you can do that as well. So that surprised me a little bit. I probably should have looked first before I opened it. All right. Okay. Again, as we're staying up here to the front just for a moment, the red accent goes along with the stylishness of the grill. The front, I call it the air dam, is functional. It helps for cooling of the brakes. Again, when you're out and you're on a track and you're putting it through its paces, and if you'll notice too how well the tires fit inside the wheel wells, that's attention to detail, if you want my opinion. A lot of times cars sit a lot higher, and to me, it just doesn't look right. The nice little ground effects sill down here at the bottom. The seats, like I mentioned, opens up extremely well. Nice bolstering on your thighs. And then, of course, the headrest, you can see where they've embossed the headrest with the N for the style, what type of model vehicle it is. And then, of course, you got the aluminum pedals down below. The other thing they didn't do, which I'm a little surprised, is they didn't flat bottom the steering wheel. Okay, because they could have flat bottomed the steering wheel, which they'll do. There is a performance button. You stand on that, and this thing will push you back in the seat real easy. Got a big grab handle on the center console. That's for your passenger. And we call that the OSH, you know what, handle. If you're going into the turn, driver doesn't use it, but the passenger, it's helpful for the passenger. Nice big back seat. And look how well, and I've got my seat all the way back. And look how nice and wide open that is. I think they just did a great job with that, taking into consideration of family. So it's running a good set of Michelin tires on it, which they look like they're pilots, which they won't get you the maximum mileage, but they will definitely get you some sticky in the ground. Let's see. I like the fact they give you a little button to push to get into the trunk. Now, it doesn't fly up super fast, but it's functional. Got your pull handles for the rear back seat. Okay. Plenty of room inside. But if you'll notice, look at that red bar in there. So that's where they've decided they wanted to put rigidity into this car, not under the hood, but in the rear, which is interesting. If you look again, we have another set of diffusers underneath the car. And we talked about diffusers where it gets the air to come up and through. Big exhaust tips on the vehicle as well. Of course, you always know when you're up against the N. And this is not just something they put on it. This is all aerodynamically designed for the maximum on this car. All right. So that's your 2025. This one bases at $33,900, $470 for paint, $1,150 for freight, $35,570 out the door, plus tax and license. Could add that. 21 city, 29 highway, 24 combined. So for a car of this price, until you drive it, you won't believe it. Once you drive it, you're going to say that is one screaming deal. So if you like to have a family and you like to go quick, then that's what you might want to check out, and that is the 2025 Hyundai Elantra N. I recommend a manual transmission, but if you want to go do an automatic, you're more than welcome. And yes, the automatic is quicker than the manual. I find that hard to believe, but that's okay. More cars down the road. See ya.